From planting drugs in the cars of unsuspecting civilians to abusing their authority to help their friends avoid arrest, here are 5 instances where corrupt officers faced appropriate consequences, starting with David Lance Dukes. On July 26, 2021, Officer Dukes from the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety responded to a reported incident involving an individual knocking on a townhouse door, purportedly carrying a gun in his waistband. Upon arrival, Officer Dukes promptly drew his firearm and instructed Clarence Gaillard, a 58-year-old disabled man, and his cousin Demario Julian, who were located in the parking lot adjacent to the townhouse, to lower themselves to the ground.
Hey, let me see your hands! Bert, get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right here! Get on the ground! You, Burgundy shirt, get on the ground! Do you not listen? Get on the ground!
Mr. Gaillard made an effort to adhere to Officer Dukes' instructions by positioning himself on his hands and knees. However, Officer Dukes resorted to using his foot in a vigorous manner to coerce Mr. Gaillard into fully lying on the ground. This forceful action led to a significant impact of Mr. Gaillard's head against the pavement. Although Officer Dukes initially claimed that he thought Mr. Gaillard might have a weapon, by the time force was used, it was clear that Mr. Gaillard wasn't an immediate threat. He had actually raised both his empty hands above his head before getting on his hands and knees. Importantly, Mr. Gaillard didn't resist when being arrested. His actions showed he was genuinely trying to follow Officer Dukes' commands. Given all this, a court would probably say that Officer Dukes didn't have a good reason to use force against Mr. Gaillard.
Gun back there? No gun. By that truck.
No gun.
You're not listening, dude. Bro, you got a gun on you, man?
No, I ain't got no gun.
I
don't
just
own
asked.
no gun. I don't
Turn back over. Paul, do you watch him say? He had something.
I ain't own no gun.
The door's unlocked in the car, so.
No, he was right here. Watch him. Go watch him. There it is. All right, that's what he had. All right, who's the complainant? All right, get up. Get him up. 25 cents. Got one tank.
Put your leg that way so you
I'm
can stand
just
up.
All right, listen. I'm about to help you. Hold on. Hold on. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Yep.
Listen.
Yep, they slammed my head
Listen.
down on the cement. Yep.
Go back inside. Go back in the house. Go back in the house. Ain't nobody talking to you.
I got head trauma.
Go back in the house.
Yep. Y'all bust my head down. Yeah, I've been in an accident. Yep. Y'all bust my head down. You threw me down.
I sure did.
And-
You wasn't listening.
Yeah. No, it ain't. You ain't to throw me down like that. I'm disability.
Okay.
I got head problem. Yep. You threw me down. Yep. You threw me down. You threw me down. Yep.
All right, let me tell you what.
That's forehead.
Bust my head down on the cement.
He was in front of the car when I came up. He was walking like this. And I thought it was a gun at first. I said, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun. Had him at gunpoint. And he's over here doing something like this.
You slammed my head. You slammed my
What
head
he was doing is
down
putting
on
this up behind the tire. So he comes over right here. He got his hands in his pockets. I'm telling him, let me see your hands, let me see your hands, let me see
Why
your
you
hands.
bust my head?
He wasn't listening.
No, it ain't.
He got the, like this right here,
You grabbed me.
and we went on to the
And then
ground.
you bust my head.
Officer Dukes claims that as Mr. Gaillard was approaching from behind a white vehicle, he believed Mr. Gaillard was armed and repeatedly instructed him to drop the alleged weapon. Officer Dukes also contends that once Mr. Gaillard moved in front of the vehicle, he had his hands in his pockets and consistently ignored demands to reveal his hands. However, the body camera footage contradicts these claims, clearly showing that Mr. Gaillard had his hands raised above his head. Notably, Officer Dukes never asked Mr. Gaillard to drop any weapon or show his hands, likely because Mr. Gaillard's hands were visibly raised throughout the entire encounter. While the body camera footage doesn't definitively reveal whether Officer Dukes' foot made contact with Mr. Gaillard's neck or upper back, it is undeniable that Officer Dukes' account of the incident, as relayed to his superior officer, differed from what the body camera footage and his colleagues' reports depicted.
bust my
Yeah,
forehead.
your head did hit the cement.
Right, cause you bust me down on the cement.
Where's the complainant?
You bust my head down.
Where's the complainant?
Bust my head down.
We're trying to get the name of the complainant.
You
So
bust my head.
Take him out of cuffs right now. I mean, because that's what we got.
have to use your force.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Slam my head down.
Dude, I didn't know what his
You
intention
use
was.
the force. You need to unload your camera.
The officer did wrong. Slam my head down. Bust my forehead.
Mayor, I'm going to take that into evidence of what he had.
What?
Well, I mean, his, you know, that's the reasons I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from.
No gun or nothing.
Because when he was behind the truck, I couldn't see what he was doing. And I didn't know where
There ain't nothing there.
that went. If it was still in his pockets when he come around that car with his hands in his pockets.
These dogs officer.
Got it on camera.
Yep, a
All
dog
right, that's
stick.
fine.
A dog stick.
So he can come out of cuffs?
Yes. Take him out of handcuffs.
good. How are you? What's going on?
Officer slammed my forehead down in the cement.
Okay.
You were wrong for that.
Consciousness.
Yep. Listen.
Can I get a card from you?
I don't have one now. We
Okay,
don't have
what's your
they
badge
don't
number?
give us cars.
Okay, what's your badge number?
1059.
Let me see if I can get my phone. Hold on.
Hold on, we have cards.
I get ready.
Okay. Thank you.
When Mr. Julian inquired about a business card, Officer Dukes stated that their department did not issue such cards. However, Sergeant Polidor promptly corrected Officer Dukes, confirming that they do indeed possess cards. If it were determined that Officer Dukes deliberately provided false information to Mr. Julian in an effort to evade responsibility for his actions, there is a chance he could face charges for 2 common law offenses under South Carolina law: obstruction of justice and official misconduct. Following treatment by EMS, Mr. Gaillard and Mr. Julian were allowed to leave. Subsequently, Officer Dukes was dismissed from the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety for violating their use of force policies. On August 25, 2021, former Officer Dukes faced first-degree assault and battery charges, which carry a potential sentence of up to 10 years in prison. Although Mr. Gaillard is represented by legal counsel, he has not yet taken any legal action against Officer Dukes or the department, and he received a settlement of $650,000 from the city of Orangeburg. On the night of March 22, 2020, Philip Chacon of Espanola, New Mexico, locked himself in his residence after local police tried to talk to him about a stabbing that had happened earlier that day. The Espanola Police Department then encircled the home and began instructing Mr. Chacon to give himself up. Around the same time, Sheriff James Lujan arrived, dressed in civilian clothes, and tried to tell the Espanola police to vacate the area.
Yeah, yes. Bring who in?
Phil Chacon? That's who you have a warrant for?
Right.
Pull everybody out. I'll bring him in.
I want to pull them out.
Huh?
I want to pull them back.
Excuse me? I'm not asking. I'm telling you. I will bring him in. Okay? We don't need to make this bigger than what it is.
Hey, the sheriff just pulled in, and he's asking us to pull back, and he'll pull him in. But he's been drinking. I can smell it on him. We're gonna need somebody. Huh? Yeah. And we need to pull somebody over here, somebody above me, because he's already pushing his weight around with me. So, okay. We're not pulling back. Hi. I'm waiting for. I told Jeremy. Jeremy's calling Command 1 now. But do you smell it, or am I the only one who smells it?
Yeah. Please do something about
Okay.
it.
Right.
Mr. Chacon ultimately surrendered and was arrested. During the standoff, Sheriff Lujan disclosed to the Espanola police that he had been in contact with Mr. Chacon while he was in the house, and even briefly tried to convince them that Mr. Chacon wasn't actually there. This peculiar behavior from Sheriff Lujan raised questions among the Espanola Police Department, leading them to formally charge him and obtain search warrants for his personal and work phones. On the morning of May 14th, the Espanola police tried to execute these warrants at the Rio Arriba Sheriff's Office.
Hey, Under Sheriff, how are you? Good, yeah. Good. It's James here, the sheriff. We just need to speak with him. Hold on.
Hello, sir.
As of now, Sheriff Lujan has been officially served with the search warrants and is required to immediately comply with the court's orders. The warrants permit the officers to search the sheriff for the phones, which he has in his pocket at the time he's served. However, Sheriff Lujan tries to sidestep the warrant's authority by passing his phones to Under Sheriff Martin Trujillo.
Hold on to that. Filed today? You have your phone? Call Nick. Casados is not. Is this for which case? What case is this?
So that is in reference to stemming from the original charges.
Which one? The misdemeanor?
So that one.
You got a search warrant on a misdemeanor.
So DA approved it out of Socorro.
Somewhere, yeah. Clovis somewhere.
Clovis, and then Pat Casado signed off on it.
Well, he has my personal phone and my work phone.
Okay.
Okay, so he's going to stay there until I get it cleared to my attorney first.
Sheriff Lujan tells the officers that he won't hand over the phones until he's consulted his lawyer. While all Americans have the right to due process under the 5th and 14th Amendments, questioning the validity of a search warrant at the moment it's being served doesn't fall within those protections. If someone wants to challenge a search warrant, it has to be done in court, not on the spot. The fact that Espanola police allowed Sheriff Lujan to call his attorney and move freely around the office after the warrants were served speaks to the special treatment officers often give each other. It's unusual for officers to let a suspect comply with a warrant on their own terms.
Busy right now.
It doesn't have the case number on here for the original.
Right there.
That's a PD case number. It doesn't have a magistrate or a district case. This is in district court too, and this is a magistrate warrant. Okay? This case is already in district court.
This is a magistrate warrant.
You understand that this case,
Well,
this case is in district court, right? Did you get a district court judge to approve it?
District court judges don't do search warrants anymore. They just don't. They put them all down to magistrate.
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
They just don't do them.
Okay. What is it exactly are you looking for?
So it stipulates in there.
Let me send this to Nate. Wow. You have 3 units out there? For what?
So, yeah.
You have all your units here, so
I have all my units here.
that's what we were told.
Who do you see here? The undersheriff, myself, the transport deputy, Leon doing reports. And so
Okay.
what are you
Sounds good.
saying I'm going to do something?
Well, we don't know.
You don't know. Really, Ernest? Really?
Sure.
Wow. Okay, well then,
Right.
you can stand outside of my office. I'm going in here. That's really, really bad, Ernest.
So,
Under Sheriff Trujillo leaves the area with the phones, and the Espanola officers alert the deputies that they need to maintain visual contact with the devices to prevent any potential deletion of data. The sheriff and undersheriff eventually reappear at the office's front but continue to move in and out of sight. Soon after, Espanola's interim police chief, Roger Jimenez, arrives to discuss the situation with Sheriff Lujan.
He's trying to make contact with...
Morning, Undersheriff. Is he gonna comply or no?
Waiting for his attorney to get him, please. Okay. We're trying to call him, but
So he has the warrants, they're signed, they're legal, it's a court order. I know you guys are just doing your job, but I don't want you guys in the middle of this. All we need are the phones, that's it.
well, once he gets his advice from his attorney, we'll do that. I got him. I don't know.
You have your phone, his phones?
Yes.
Okay. Can I see him at least so I could give you that professional courtesy?
Okay. I think it can have you guys leave. I mean, you're making more of a show that nothing's gonna happen.
Well, I'm not the one making the show, I had only sent these guys in here. You know, I just, again, we want the phone.
Well, that's fine. You're probably gonna get the phone, but wait till.
Well, as you know, Undersheriff, it's not probably, there's a court order. You know, I don't want to, I really don't. I don't want to have to put anybody in cuffs, I don't. But if that's what I have to do, then I will do it. I don't want to do that.
And you're saying
Him.
oh,
I talked to him. I got you on the phone.
ask for it?
No, he gave them to me.
Okay. Are you going to comply, yes or no? That's all I want. I want the phones. That's it.
I told you. You have your search warrant says to search me for personal phones?
He has the phones. He already told me he has the phones.
Okay. That's not what the search warrant says, does it?
Okay, so you want us to lock down the sheriff's office? Go ahead and call them back. You're going to stay out here, sir. Stay out here. For what? Because... No. Under sheriff, you can go through the court system. We are. We're going to lock down this building until he gives me those phones. Really? Yes, that's what the DA's office is. Really? Yeah. Where's that on paper? You can call her, Andrea Reed. You want her number? He's going out.
You're not going to stop me from leaving if I want to leave. Am I under arrest?
If we have to.
Am I under arrest?
Not
Then
now.
Get away from
Not now. Go back inside. We're going to lock down the office. Please, go back in the office. Seriously.
Don't touch. Back up.
You can go in the office, but...
Back up. Don't touch. Don't reach. Back up.
Go inside. Because you're not certified, so...
Back up.
This minor physical maneuvering shows that the deputies place their allegiance to the sheriff above their sworn obligation to enforce the law. The Espanola officers had followed correct procedure, serving a lawful search warrant on the sheriff. The Rio Arriba deputies, sworn to uphold the same laws and governed by the same justice system, failed to respect the search warrant. This raises significant concerns about their competence and highlights a noticeable gap between their actual performance and the ethical standards expected of law enforcement in general.
So are you refusing? Is that what you're saying?
Refusing what?
You're refusing a lawful order?
Are you still in the back?
From the judge.
What judge?
Judge Gonzalez.
On what case is that on?
On my case. You have the search warrant.
On your case?
Yeah, you have the search warrant. You have
Search
the
warrant, the case is going to district court, right?
You continue to
It's a district
continue
court
to
judge
resist and
has this
obstruct.
case,
You're
right?
showing a pattern of behavior, Sheriff.
Really?
Yes.
It's a pattern of
Already
harassment
twice.
from you is what
Already
it is.
twice.
Retaliation and
Twice.
harassment is what
Twice.
it is.
That's okay. You have your opportunity in court. I'm here asking.
So will you on a misdemeanor.
Okay, for now. For now.
I've
For
done
now.
nothing. Are you
Then
accusing
why
me of
not-
something else?
Then why not give me the phones?
I told you I'm seeking legal counsel first. I have that right. Do I not have a right to seek
You have
legal
the legal
counsel?
order. You have
I
a
do.
legal order.
And it doesn't say how long I have to give it to you, does it?
It says now.
Does
yes,
it?
Yes.
Show me.
It's a court order. You have the copies.
It says now?
Yeah. Well, when do you? Okay, so you get a search warrant. You just do it whenever you want.
Sheriff, this would just be so much easier if you just give us these phones. And
I don't
let
have
us
the
go.
phones, do I?
Well, no, but I saw you give them to your undersheriff who has them in his pocket. So just the knowledge of that.
Give them the phones. This is all harassment and retaliation because I told the city council that you shouldn't be the chief. That's what it is.
Think whatever you want.
I don't think, I know.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
You
Go ahead and give it to him. These phones are not to be gone through until you have a warrant for the content. You only have a warrant for the phones,
You're
not the
absolutely right.
content.
You're absolutely right.
And good luck, and you better not come through a magistrate. You better go through a district court judge.
Thank you, Undersheriff.
Go.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
After securing the phones, the Espanola officers departed without any further issues. A few days later, they obtained a search warrant for the phone's contents. They discovered that Sheriff Lujan had not provided the correct phone, specifically the one he had used to communicate with Mr. Chacon. The phones handed over by the sheriff were not the ones used on March 22nd. Realizing this violation of the search warrant's terms, a warrant for Sheriff Lujan's arrest was issued. On May 21st, the Espanola Police Department arrested Sheriff Lujan at his office. During the arrest, he also picked up a charge for resisting, in addition to the other charges he was already facing. Sheriff Lujan was subsequently sentenced to 3 years in prison by State District Judge Kathleen McGarry Ellenwood. On February 15, 2018, around 4 p.m., Deputy Zach Wester from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office stopped 52-year-old grandmother Teresa Odom in Marianna, Florida. He pulled her over due to her car's brake lights reportedly blinking rapidly. At that moment, Ms. Odom was serving felony probation for involvement in stolen property. After stopping her, Deputy Wester approached the driver's side window of Ms. Odom's car.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Should I turn in here to get off?
You're fine, you're fine. Deputy Westwood, Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Reason for my stop is
Your brake lights.
Yes, sir.
They work 1 minute, and the next minute they don't work, and then a few seconds later they just flash. Okay,
I think it's probably because of the rain.
Okay, that's fine. You got your driver's license on you, ma'am?
I just got tickets the other day. I'll be glad to show
Oh,
them
did you?
to you.
No, you're fine. All right, thank you. I'll be right back.
My truck may or may not start. When I turn it off, you may have to push me off, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
Okay. Do you need to turn it off? Do you have to turn it off?
It'd be probably better.
Okay.
I'm on hard time with it as it is.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If
Can
we
I
can
answer my phone?
Yeah. You can answer your phone. I'm just trying to think what's going to be best for. What is? What is that right there?
What is what?
That right there.
What is what?
That straw right there.
This is no straw. It's an ink pen.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
an ink pen.
It was connected. It looked like it was
No
connected
straw.
to that arc. Just
Hey,
hang
I just
tight,
got
okay?
pulled over
You see my hip give out right then? Good Lord.
Look,
All
you
right.
just don't even need to know. I've been at the hospital with an
My
84-year-old
God.
uncle all day long for 3 days.
Okay.
Now, so I'm expecting anything at this point.
That would be, I hope everything turns out good with that, all right?
It did. It did.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm
It
sorry.
did. And I'm waiting on Dr. Albrecht to call me. That was another thing I was fixing to tell you. If Dr. Albrecht calls, may I answer his call?
That ain't no problem. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not going to keep you from talking on the phone, okay? Anything in the vehicle I need to be concerned about? Bombs, hand grenades,
Drugs,
rocket launchers?
no.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Here's what I do probably 10 or 15 times a shift, okay? There's going to be a K9 coming in a minute, and she's going to walk around the car, okay? But instead of doing that, would you consent to a search of your vehicle? You're fine with that? Okay. All right. You mind stepping out and just hanging out with this deputy right back here?
No, I don't. I'm scared of being in this traffic. To be
No,
honest.
Deputy Hayke will take care of you.
Deputy Wester tells Ms. Odom that a K9 unit is on the way and asks for her permission to search her vehicle instead of waiting for the dog unit. Although she's not legally required to consent, Ms. Odom agrees to let Deputy Wester search her car. Generally, while law enforcement can ask for consent to search a person's property, individuals have the right to decline. However, if consent is given, officers can perform the search even without probable cause or reasonable suspicion. For this reason, criminal defense lawyers usually advise against consenting to such searches, as asking for consent often indicates that officers lack the legal authority to carry out the search without it. It's also worth noting that a court would likely conclude that Deputy Wester didn't have the reasonable suspicion needed to hold Ms. Odom for the arrival of the K9 unit. In the 2015 Supreme Court case Rodriguez v. United States, it was determined that extending a traffic stop beyond the necessary time to fulfill the purpose of the stop violates the Fourth Amendment. The court stated that an officer may perform unrelated checks during a lawful traffic stop, but cannot extend the stop's duration without reasonable suspicion. In this case, Deputy Wester had no evidence suggesting Ms. Odom was engaged in illegal drug activity, so a court would likely find there was no reasonable suspicion to detain her for the K9 unit's arrival.
Can I take my phone?
Yeah, take your phone. I don't care. That's fine. Come on. $25.54 to $25.40. You can cancel. I got consent. All right. Deputy Hayke, make sure you don't get run over, okay? Because I have faith that he would prefer to get over. All right, just hang tight, myself.
In the body camera footage, Deputy Wester is seen with what looks like a small baggie in his hand as he's putting on gloves. It was later confirmed that he planted methamphetamine in Ms. Odom's car. Planting evidence is not only unethical but also illegal. Yet, some police officers still engage in such acts. Those who are accused based on planted evidence often feel helpless, especially when it's their word against a corrupt officer's. However, public defenders and criminal defense lawyers can assist such individuals in fighting the charges, so it's crucial to consult an attorney before pleading guilty.
According to the brother, David, neither he nor his brother drank water.
Miss Odom.
It is yogurt, sir.
I know. Okay.
It's yogurt.
How about this, though?
That is not mine. No, sir.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you any
No,
direct, hold on.
sir.
I'm not going to ask you any direct questions. I'm going to read you your rights first, okay? So just hang out with Deputy Hayke here.
What is it?
I have an idea. We're going to test it, though, okay? I don't know.
Oh,
but-
no, Teresa, you're going to jail.
Yep. You what? Okay.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Jess. No. Do you have anything on you, Miss Odom?
I said I didn't have anything on me in the truck.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. But do you have anything on your person? Is what
I
I'm
have
asking.
nothing on me to my knowledge
Okay.
at
Thank
all.
you. We're good. Okay. All right.
And I'm not trying to be over.
It did return presumptive positive for methamphetamine. Okay. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
After planting the evidence, Deputy Wester confronted Ms. Odom about the substance found. Deputy Wester performs a roadside chemical test on the planted substance and tells Ms. Odom that it tested positive for methamphetamine. While these field tests are too unreliable to serve as courtroom evidence, they can still be used to establish probable cause for an arrest. Most drug cases in the U.S. get settled through plea bargains, often before more accurate lab tests are conducted. This means that despite their inadmissibility in court, a large number of drug convictions still rely solely on these field tests.
What about my truck?
I'm gonna have to tow it, okay, since it's a narcotics felony arrest, okay?
They saying they gonna tow my truck, baby.
Here, you just want to put your phone and your sunglasses in your purse here, and we'll make sure all this gets to the jail.
Ms. Odom was arrested and faced felony charges for possession of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. She spent 19 days in jail before pleading no contest. Ms. Odom later revealed that she didn't contest the charges because she felt she couldn't win against law enforcement and wanted to be home for her nearly 3-month-old grandchild. In August 2018, at the behest of the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement began investigating Deputy Wester. He was put on administrative leave on August 1, 2018, and fired on September 10th. The investigation uncovered that Deputy Wester habitually stopped people for minor traffic issues, planted drugs in their cars, and then arrested them. Due to these findings, prosecutors reviewed nearly 300 cases in which Wester was involved. They dropped charges and overturned convictions in over 100 of these cases, including Ms. Odom's. Her convictions were vacated and her charges were dismissed on September 18, 2018. On July 10, 2019, Wester was arrested and faced multiple felony and misdemeanor charges. A jury found him guilty of 19 of the 67 charges on May 18, 2021. He was ultimately convicted of 12 felonies and sentenced to 12.5 years in state prison on July 13, 2021. Additionally, over a dozen victims have filed civil rights lawsuits against Wester for his misconduct. Ms. Odom also filed a federal lawsuit against him on July 25, 2019. As of the most recent information, her case is still pending. On the afternoon of April 27, 2018, John Chu was seen driving erratically in his truck on Breakwater Road, heading toward Route 9, and nearly causing multiple accidents. Concerned neighbors eventually called the police. However, when officers arrived, they were surprised to find their own boss, Lieutenant John Chu, as the one causing the disruption.
What's up, LT?
Hey, LT, how you doing?
Somebody called it on you driving erratic.
Erratic driver.
Headed home?
Hey, I'm sorry to bother you. My mic's live, so you know, at this point, my camera. We had an erratic driver call. Lieutenant Chu.
Realizing the delicate situation, one of the officers reported the incident over his radio. He made sure to note that both his microphone and camera were on, indicating that the encounter was being recorded. Though the officers seemed concerned about dealing with their superior, they also made a point of acknowledging their body cameras. One officer, who had initially turned his camera off upon recognizing the lieutenant, decided to turn it back on, ensuring the situation would be documented.
You on?
Yes. You? You're not. Turn it on.
I switched the cameras out.
What did he say? I was behind him. I was behind you. Did you get any? Yes. We gotta do what we gotta do.
When Lieutenant Chu was finally confronted, he was subjected to a DUI test. Unsurprisingly, he failed miserably, unable to even walk in a straight line. During another test that involved lifting a leg and holding the position, he gave up. Both officers on the scene were noticeably reluctant to arrest Lieutenant Chu, likely fearing job repercussions, especially given Chu's potential to create complications. Despite the tension, Lieutenant Chu was ultimately detained. After being read his Miranda rights, the report states that he gestured offensively at the officers multiple times. His blood alcohol content was recorded as 0.36%, a level considered to be potentially life-threatening due to alcohol poisoning. He was rushed to a hospital for immediate treatment. Shortly after, he was suspended and fined $700 for his actions. County Chief Deputy Michael Dunn was driving erratically in rural Boone, Arkansas, swerving almost entirely off the road. An officer noticed the behavior and pulled him over, unaware that he was dealing with a high-ranking official.
I'm Trooper Valentine, Arkansas State Police. Stopped because you look like you're having trouble controlling your vehicle. All right, what's going on? A lot. Your arm? Okay, where is it? Huh? It's on your chest? Huh? Been drinking a little? Yeah. Okay. All right. Can I see your driver's license? So where are you coming from?
Just over Missouri.
Okay. How much have you had to drink?
Not much.
Okay. Well, is your vehicle off? Turn it off for me. All right. Go ahead and step out with me, okay? So you got a gun on you?
It's off.
It's off of you? Is it in the vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a deputy?
I'm the chief deputy.
You're the chief? Okay. Well, so you know better.
I've had some bad times.
Okay. Well, I understand that. But, I mean, you know we can't be out driving if we've been drinking.
Yeah.
And, you know, I caught you coming back onto the highway back there. You almost hit a sign and then followed you for a little while, and you touched the yellow line twice, touched the white line twice, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to do some tests on you. All right. You know how all this is going to go. If you are impaired, there's nothing I can do for you. Okay?
Okay.
Because it's not, it wasn't my choice, whatever you've done. And, you know, my job's going to be on the line just like yours is, okay?
Upon assessing the situation and suspecting that Dunn might be intoxicated, the officer proceeded to administer sobriety tests, regardless of Dunn's status.
Go ahead and stand. All right, you gonna be all right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and stand up for me right here, okay, and face my car. Do you want to go through these tests, or you just want me to take you in? Huh? I won't take you to Newton. We're in Boone right now, so I'd be taking you to Boone. Okay. I know it sucks. All right, but like I said, it's not my choice.
Can't give me a break, man.
You know I can. Absolutely can. It's on camera. I can't do anything about it. I've got family out here on this highway. I'm sure you do too. And I can just cuff you in the front, sit you in the back of my car. You want to do that? Or you'd rather have them behind your back?
Cuffing me? Seriously?
Like I said, it's policy.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
You want me to follow policy?
think it's bullshit, by the way, but...
Okay.
Then, Michael is finally arrested and put in the back seat of the car.
Let's go. I'll follow you.
Just sit me in the back seat.
Yeah, we'll sit you in the back seat. Go ahead. Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead. We'll go on that side. No, go on the passenger side. You want to be buckled?
Are you serious?
You don't want to be buckled? I mean, that's up to you, I guess.
Man.
It's not my fault. Don't look at me like it.
No, it's my fault.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I do not want to do this to another law enforcement officer. I've always heard about it happening. Never wanted it to happen to me. Okay? But like I said, there's nothing I can do about it. Right? You understand that?
No, I
It's
do
not on me.
understand. I know it's not on you.
Okay. If you were some other guy out here, driving around suspended, no job, whatever, I'd be doing the same thing.
Ultimately, Michael Dunn was fined $800 for refusing to take a breath test. He also resigned from his position as chief deputy and was sentenced to 1 year in prison.